Good morning, everyone. Adele from Your Healing Path and Dare to Be Authentic. Welcome to the last video on this week's series on procrastination. Today we're going to talk a little bit about decisions, okay? I'm going to start today's feed with a little story. When I was 30, I ran away from home. Yes, I did. I ran away from home at 30 years old. Andre and I had been seeing each other for about 6 months. I met him, we worked together at first, and I met him when I was about 28, and I was in the recovery period after my mental health psychosis issues. And we just worked together, we were just friends, and then a couple of days before my 30th birthday we got together. And from there on, it started very tumultuous 6 months of toing and froing about what we wanted. And just before the 6-month mark, I said to him, I need to know what's going on. I need to know whether you want this to keep going or what you want. And I went all a bit Days of Our Lives on him. I got all dramatic and I went a bit Days of Our Lives. Hi, Nicole. And I said, I sort of said, do you want me? Do you want me? Am I what you want in life? Do you want this relationship? And he kind of just shook his head, and I said, I need to hear the words. I need to hear the words. And he said the words. He said the words that I really didn't want to hear, and that was, no, I don't want this. I don't want this relationship. And my heart just shattered into 1,000 pieces. Here I was, stepping out of my comfort zone and daring to ask for what I wanted. And the answer was no. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you. I can't even begin to tell you. So I won't. But what followed that is I went and saw Mum and Dad, didn't say anything to them about it. And my mum, bless her little cotton socks, she said something, and I can't even remember now what it was, but it just triggered me, and I went into a rage. And I got in my car and I drove down the driveway, and I just started driving, and I kept driving. And I was crying and blubbering, and every song that came on the radio was a sad song about heartbreak or a happy song about true love. And pardon me. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on? And in that, state of sadness and anger and rage and all of those things all rolled into one, I decided at that point that wherever I was going, it was not going to be somewhere I'd been before. So I every road sign that I came to, so fork in the road and straight, and there's a T section, every one of those road signs that I came to, I turned towards a place I'd never been to before. I don't even remember how long I drove for. But every time I came across a sign, I stopped and I went, I'm going to go somewhere I've never been before. Hi, Sarah. Hi, B. And here's what happened. I ended up on a dirt track. Kept driving. Realised that the car's not running quite right. What's going on? I get out, I realise I've got a flat. So driving down this road, I'd gone so far that I knew that I'd gone so far down this path, down this dirt track, I couldn't get back to a main road in time to sort of, fix a tyre and not completely destroy the wheel. But I didn't know what was ahead, so I just kept going straight. I ended up at a dead end at a creek, and just going, what the am I doing? Where am I? What am I doing? And there were a couple of houses around, and long story short, some people came and helped me and managed to change the tyre and got back on the road, and a little bit of sense kind of slammed back into my head. I thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? And so I kept driving, and to some extent I did take some turns that I wasn't familiar with. And then I calmed right down and went, well, I've got to stop now. I've got to stop and I need to rest. So I ended up in a little in a little motel in Nelson Bay, and checked myself in and walked into the room, and it was all wood paneling and orange boucle plaid fabric. And I just walked in and I went, oh God, I'm in a time warp. Anyway, there was a beach nearby, so I went for a walk along the beach. I stayed there that night, and I think I stayed there 2 nights. I can't recall the exact details of that. But what I do remember is that I had nothing else with me except my handbag. And I realised that in that handbag I had everything I needed to survive. I carry everything in my handbag. It's very nice and compact these days, but you know, I have everything in my handbag. And I stayed away from home for I think about 2 days. And in that time away, I looked at what my options were. And as I mentioned, Andre and I worked together, and it was at David Jones. By this stage, I was in the city office doing the corporate payroll. And there was a job opportunity that was coming up, that had come up for a position in Melbourne. And I went, right, well, I'm going to apply for that job. I'm going to apply for that job because I need to get away. What I'm doing now is not working. What I'm doing now doesn't make me happy. So I made the decision that I was going to apply for the job. It was a very scary decision. I don't think I firmly made the decision. Anyway, when I saw Andre at work again, I told him, I said, I'm going to apply for that job in Melbourne. And in a relatively short period of time after that, he came back to me and he said, I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go. He'd spoken to a friend of his, and his friend had said to him, don't let that girl go. You're not going to find another one like that. I've got goosebumps because it's a beautiful story. And Andre came back to me and said that to me. And so 6 months after we first got together, we went on our first real date. It was Melbourne Cup Day, and we went to the casino. And I still have the dress that I wore on our first date. And it was quite literally 6 months after we first got together. So why am I relaying this story to you when we're talking about decisions and procrastination? Looking back on that story, looking back at that time in my life, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I needed something different in my life. I just knew that with every road sign that came up, I didn't want to go down the same path I'd already been down. And I made the decision that I was going to try something different. Go down a road that I don't know. Yes, I ended up on a dirt track in the middle of nowhere with a flat tyre, but I also ended up with people there to help me. I was blessed, truly blessed, that there were people around that helped me. And then I had time to really contemplate what I wanted. I gave myself that time away from everything, away from family, away from work, away from all of the influences that had been part of my life up until that point. And I made the decision that, you know, I was going to apply for this job in Melbourne. I didn't end up going for that job in Melbourne. I ended up staying with Andre, and we were married a couple of years later, and we've built a life together. And we have 3 beautiful, beautiful fur babies as a result of that. and he is thriving in his business, and I'm thriving in my business. And I'm telling you right now, life doesn't get any better than that. So if I got these results out of, a radical decision-making process of, yeah, it was very much a soul cleansing. If I got these results out of what started as a completely radical decision-making process, imagine what results you can get if you focus on what you want, if you're clear about your intention, if you're clear about what you want and you have such a strong why that nothing can shake it. Imagine the possibilities for your own life. Every change starts with one decision. One decision. One thought process. I want something different. Now that can be quite scary. Granted, it can be quite scary. But if you want something better for your life, if you want to be happy, if you want to be successful, thank you, Sarah. And the thought of change scares the crap out of you, start small. Start small. I'm not saying that you have to run away and take every path that you don't have any idea about to start changing your life. Start small. Change your morning routine a little bit. Change the path you take when you drive the kids to school. When you go grocery shopping, start in a different aisle. This serves two purposes. If you change your current routine, then it's going to show you that the decision that you made to create that routine in the first place was the right decision. So if you take a different route to school to drop the kids off and you end up in a traffic jam, or, it takes you 10 minutes longer, then you're going to go, well, hang on a sec, the decision I made to take this particular route, it works. Awesome. I made a good decision. And you remind yourself that you actually do have the power to make good decisions. You just don't realize it. Hi, Dawes. And then there's the other side of it. Maybe if you change things up a bit, you might see that there's something that you could do differently that's going to end up with a better result than you're currently getting. There's always the potential for that. So change your routine and see what happens. Does it confirm that the decision you originally made is a good one? Or does it open your eyes and open the possibility that there is a better way to do things? It's great. And by doing that, what you're doing is instilling in yourself that small changes can be safe. Change can be a safe space. That's great. I love that. Recognizing that it is safe to change. It's safe to change your life. It's safe to change aspects of your life and aspects of you that no longer serve their purpose. It's great. Love it. What it also allows you to do is to start recognizing and feeling the emotional aspects of change, which could be, fear, doubt, anger, frustration, all of those things that we've already talked about when we discussed procrastination. Or, as I said, it can make you realize that you're pretty good at making decisions. You're pretty good at making decisions that get the results that you want. It's awesome. So guys, maybe today you change one routine in your life. Maybe today you go out and you look at the way you've been doing things for a long time and realize that maybe it doesn't serve its purpose. It starts with one decision. I want change. One decision. I want to change my life. One decision. I want to be happy. One decision. Give it a go. See how it feels. See how it feels to make a decision and realize that you're actually doing something worthwhile for yourself. Pondering, pondering, pondering. Guys, if anyone is a Seinfeld fan, I'm gonna ask you to cast your mind back and recall if you've ever seen the episode where George Costanza, Andre's a huge Seinfeld fan, so we've watched the entire series about 55,000 times. Well, not quite that much. There is an episode where George decides he does something different to his normal behaviour, and he gets the girl. And he has this aha moment. He goes, if I just do everything, if I go and just do everything against my natural gut instinct, and remember, George is sort of a bit of a downer, he's a bit of a naysayer, clawing for success and not quite getting there. And he makes this decision that everything that he decides, everything that he feels, everything that is his instinct, he's going to do the opposite. And he has pretty amazing results. So go out there and try being George Costanza for a couple of hours and see what kind of results you get. Work for me. Work for George. Can it work for you? Guys, have a fabulous Friday. I will see you in the morning again. And just also want to put it out there that I want to start doing a live Q&A session each week. So so I'm going to post on the page some options of what timings work best for people. So have a look, vote on what time would be best for you, and we'll start doing a weekly live Q&A. Thanks, Dawes. And we'll take it from there. It's a little bit of a change, and it's going to work. Hi, Derek. It's a little bit of a change, and it's going to work. I'm a bit excited. I'm doing my little dance now. Have a fabulous Friday, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye.